So much of our yoga practice, I want you guys to really understand that it's not just about the physical aspect of it. So when things start to feel challenging with the physical postures that we're doing, don't beat yourself up about it, because really the yoga practice is meant to open us up mentally and emotionally as well. A good story actually I wanted to share with you that kind of embodies this lesson that I've been learning is my son now, who's 3, is having tantrums like I've never experienced before. He is screaming and throwing himself on the ground and rolling around in public and wherever we are, really. And I mean, I'm trying to really draw upon my best yogi powers to stay present and to stay patient with him. So I try and just watch it happen. And it's funny because after a couple moments, even just after a cuddle or some sort of mental distraction, he'll snap right out of it. And all of a sudden he's like, okay, mommy, I'm all better now. And it just makes me realize that if we can look at our own emotions this way, whether they're coming up in our practice, if we find something as challenging, if something is angering us, if something's frustrating us, even if something is keeping us bored or making us feel lethargic, if we can look at it, you know, as a sort of compassionate parent and just watch the emotion happen and try not to react to it, try not to let us lead us away, then eventually it just passes. You know, just like that kind of a tantrum that happens with the 3-year-old, the emotion will run its course and then it's on to something new. So think about that as we're going through our practice today. We're going to focus again just on building the strength from the bottom up. So if something is feeling difficult for you, just watch it be difficult. If you're starting to feel bored during our quiet meditation time, just watch the boredom. Think of yourself as the witness to whatever is happening and don't get too carried away by it. And enjoy, okay? So we'll be... So when you guys are ready, nice and easy, let's just come down. As I said before, if you want to use any props, I mean, you can bring them in already right away. So as we find a comfortable position on our backs, you can use a pillow to support the backs of your knees. You can put a blanket underneath your lower back or a towel. You can put a blanket underneath your neck even to support your neck. Again, be that compassionate parent. Just give yourself the comfort that you need here. So we'll find a nice position on our backs, just allowing our arms to lengthen down, allowing our legs to relax. Maybe the toes start to splay out side to side. If you'd like, you can bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And as you begin to breathe a little bit more deeply here, you can start to feel your belly rise on the inhale and then fall on the exhale. And as your shoulders begin to get heavy, maybe you begin to feel that connection with the ground beneath you. Just allow your hips and your belly to go soft here. No holding. You can take a little scan of your body beginning from the bottom with the toes and just allow your awareness to relax the toes and the soles of your feet and your ankles. Relaxing your calves and your knees, your shins, your thighs. Noticing your hips and your belly softening even further. Feeling the natural curve in your lumbar spine. Noticing that connection with your shoulders and your shoulder blades to the ground beneath you. Allowing your jaw to soften. And then just bringing some really deep breaths into the body here. Maybe feeling that hand on your belly begin to rise as you inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Bringing the inhale in through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Maybe you can hear the soft noise that your breathing is making here. Just connecting with this gentleness. You can remain with your legs long. If you'd like, maybe you take your hand off the belly and the heart if it was there. And we'll begin to bend the left leg, placing the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. So remaining on your back here, we're just finding a supine tree pose. So the sole of the left foot gently presses to the inside of the right thigh. If you'd like, you can relax your arms down by your side here, or you can reach your arms up overhead. Maybe if you'd like to give yourself a little bit of a shoulder stretch, you can cross your arms and grab for opposite elbows overhead. Just remembering whatever arm is on top so that we can cross the opposite way next time. So we're stretching our shoulders out a little bit here. You might begin to feel a little bit of a stretch in the upper body. Breathe into the spaces between the rib cage here as you lengthen the side body. The left hip begins to open up as that knee just relaxes down towards the ground. Continuing to breathe in deeply here. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more big inhale. Exhale. We'll release and switch sides. So this time bending the right leg, placing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Again, you can reach the arms up overhead if that feels good, or you can keep them lengthened down by your side. If you'd like to reach and grab the opposite elbow, then maybe you cross the other arm on top this time. Just snuggle your shoulder blades to a place where it feels comfortable, so you can relax those shoulder blades into the ground, feeling the opening in your chest and in the side body here. Maybe feeling that opening in the right hip as the right knee draws down to the ground. We'll inhale into the side body, big inhale. Exhale. Once more, big inhale here, in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. As you're ready, you can release the arms, lengthen the legs down. The arms can reach overhead and get as tall and as long as you can. As you extend the fingers to above your head, extending the toes down towards the opposite wall. Reach, reach, reach. Big breath in here. We'll exhale and we'll bend the knees, drawing them in towards the chest. Maybe giving ourselves a big hug, squeezing the knees in, and taking a moment here to rock side to side, massaging the lower back. We'll come to rest on our right side. Just taking a breath here. And then use your hands to gently push yourself up. We'll come to a tabletop position. So spreading the palms wide, we're going to stack our shoulders over our wrists. Knees are about hip-width distance apart. And our hips are stacked directly over our knees. We'll come into a cat-cow. So on an inhale, let's lift the chin, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, and pull the heart through the arm space. On the exhale, we're going to round the spine, take the back of the heart up, drop the chin toward the chest. Make sure you're pressing into those palms to really round the back. Again, on the inhale, coming into a cow, pull the heart between the arms. Feel that stretching and flexing in your spine. Exhaling, rounding the back. If it feels good for you, you can find a little bit of sway forward and back. As you move with your breath here, see if you can sync your breath up to the movement. So inhaling into that cow stretch, pulling the heart forward, and exhaling into the cat. Few more rounds with your breath. When it feels good to you, you can come back into stillness. And we're going to take a few moments here to stretch the wrists out. So place the back of the palms down to the ground so that the palm faces up and the fingers are pointed towards your knees, okay? It might feel a little bit awkward. If it's a little bit uncomfortable, you don't have to come full down, okay? You can just rest the fingers on the ground. We're just stretching the wrists out here. So from here, I invite you to sway maybe a little bit forward and back, just finding a little bit of stretching in those wrists. Remembering to breathe deeply in through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And when you've had enough, you can lift up, shake those wrists out. And this time, we're going to bring our hands back down to the ground. Our fingers are going to face down towards our knees. And the front of the wrist is going to face toward the top of the mat. Okay, so fingers are pointing backward this time. Palms are down. And again, find a little bit of a sway, a little bit of buoyancy, maybe backward and forward as you just stretch into the forearm and into the wrist. It can be a little bit, it could be painful. If it's painful, please back out of it. It's not really a position that we're used to putting our wrists in, but it gives us a nice stretch, especially if you type or you write a lot. Remembering to breathe here. And when you've had enough, just sit back on your heels and give yourself another shake. Good work, everybody. This time we're going to come forward and we're going to come down onto our belly. Okay, so coming into a locust pose here. I want you to lengthen your arms by your side, placing the palms down, but pointing the fingers towards your feet, okay? We're going to roll the shoulders back. And from here, let's make sure that our feet are hip-width distance apart, so the feet don't have to be together. Just let them relax out. Toes are pointed back. We're going to press down into the palms, and we're going to lift the chest. Maybe just an inch off the ground, okay? Just coming into a gentle back bend here, waking up the lower back. You can use that pressure in the palms to lift yourself up. And now roll your shoulders back so you really feel your collarbone expand. Take a big breath in here. Exhale and release. Good work. Let's bend the arms, place one palm on top of the other, and relax the forehead down for a moment. Okay, here we go again. We're going to lengthen the arms, long fingers are pointing down towards the toes. This time, we're going to lift the legs. So if you'd like, you can actually place the hands underneath the front of your thighs. It may help give you a little bit of lift, okay? Otherwise, you can just relax the palms down by your side. We'll use the pressure in the palms to help us lift our legs, okay? Toes are pointing back. If it's better for you, you can relax the forehead down. I just don't want to muffle my voice on you guys. So just lift those legs, point the toes back. Try and get the thighs off the ground here. Again, strengthening the lower back. We'll breathe and hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Relax down. Again, you can stack one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead down for a breath. Okay, now once more everybody, we're going to lengthen the arms down, fingers point down towards the toes. This time, it's yogi's choice. If you'd like to lift the chest, lift the legs, or if you want to come with me and lift everything together, we're going to press down into the palms. You can snuggle those hands underneath your legs if that feels better for you. And we're going to use the pressure down into our palms to help us lift the chest, lift the legs, extending through the crown of the head, down out through the toes. Full back strengthener here. Roll the shoulders back, expand the collarbone, and hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Relax down. We'll do that one more time. Bend your elbows and stack your hands if you'd like to rest your forehead down. As you're ready, you can reset, lengthening the hands down, fingers point downwards. So your choice again, upper body, legs, or everything together. If you want to place your hands underneath the front of your thighs to give yourself some support, we're going to get ready for liftoff. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, lengthen the toes behind you, press into the palms. Now roll the shoulders back so you expand that collarbone. Reach through the crown of your head, down, out through your toes, and hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Nice job. Relax down. This time, we're going to place our elbows underneath our shoulders, spreading the palms wide. We're bringing our forearms into an 11. Okay, so fingers are pointing forward. Elbows stacked underneath the shoulders, coming in for a Sphinx Pose. Again, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and take the gaze up and out as you press into the forearms. You might feel a little bit of strengthening in your lower back here as you pull the heart through those arm space, okay? So your heart is pulling forward. You may even start to tremble a bit. Lots of strengthening going on in the shoulders, the upper body. We'll hold here. If you'd like, you can take your gaze, turn over and look past your left shoulder, keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears, coming back to center, and then taking your gaze over and past the right shoulder. Continuing to breathe, coming back to center, really pulling that heart through. Take one more big breath in, exhale and relax. Nice job. Stack your hands and relax your forehead down if that feels right. We'll bring those elbows underneath the shoulders once again, and we're going to come into a forearm plank. So our forearms are making an 11 here, palms are spread wide, elbows underneath the shoulders. From here, you can tuck the toes, okay, and begin to engage the legs so you feel your knees begin to lift off the ground. You can remain here, but if you'd like to come into the plank, begin to press down into the forearms and lift the hips. Good work. Strengthening that core, really pressing down into those forearms, lifting the front body away from the earth, and extending the heels behind you. Keep the gaze down and forward to lengthen the neck. Keep holding, drawing the navel up to the spine for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Take your knees down and sit your hips back to your heels for Child's Pose. Arms can reach out in front. Forehead can come to rest on the ground. Okay, good work everybody. We're going to come back into that forearm plank. So once again, forearms on the ground, elbows underneath the shoulders. You can begin with your hips and your pelvis on the ground. Lengthen those legs out and tuck those toes behind you. Engage the legs and lift the knees. So press the heels back. And now press down into the forearms to lift the hips. Coming in for a nice flat back here, so don't let the hips drop and don't let them pike up. You want to imagine you've got a teacup on a saucer on the small of your back that you're trying to balance here. So take a big breath in, draw the navel up to the spine, really press down into those forearms. Maybe you're feeling a little shake, creating a little bit of heat. And we'll hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Good job. Lower the knees, press back for a breath in Child's Pose. Okay guys, we're all set up now to attempt our Dolphin Pose. So this is the preliminary to our downward dog. Building lots of strength in our foundation. We'll come in once again for that forearm pose. So making an 11 with the forearms, pressing down and spreading those fingers nice and wide. Really use that connection with the earth to lift the front body away from the ground. Okay, lengthening the heels behind you, navel up to the spine. From here, if you'd like to come with me, you can bend the knees and begin to lift the hips up, okay? So you're pressing into the forearms, lifting the hips, and then you're going to walk your feet in a little bit towards the elbows until you find a comfortable spot, okay? This is your Dolphin Pose. Lots of strengthening in the shoulders here. The heels are extending down towards the ground, and the crown of the head extends down as you take your gaze toward your thigh. Okay, so you're looking back towards your thighs, crown of the head relaxing down, pressing into both forearms. Let's hold here and breathe for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Knees down, Child's Pose. Let's make this Child's Pose a little bit more active by coming up onto our fingertips, lifting our wrists, sitting our glutes back to our heels, and resting our chest and our forehead down. Big breaths in here. Rise up when you're ready, and we're going to do that one more time. So finding your forearm plank, spreading those palms wide, elbows underneath the shoulders. We're extending our legs back, heels pressing toward the back wall. And we're keeping our hips lifted, navel towards the spine. Okay, now from here, if you'd like to come into Dolphin Pose, begin to lift your hips, okay? Lift the hips up and bend the knees. Walk your feet in towards the elbows. Okay, they don't have to walk in too much, just coming to a comfortable position, relaxing the heels downward. The heels do not have to reach the ground. Just extend them downward, Crown of the head begins to relax downward as your gaze goes toward your thighs. Press into those forearms, lots and lots. Keep that connection with your hands and the forearms. Hold and breathe. Are you shaking? Can you feel your shoulders? Maybe a little bit of heat in the body beginning to grow from the belly. Let's hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Knees down. Active child's pose by coming up onto your fingertips, lifting the wrists and relaxing the glutes down to the heels. All right, everybody, good work. Okay, our practice is all about building our foundation for that downward dog. So we're going to begin to come into our first plank. If you would like to remain with the forearm plank, by all means. If you'd like to come with me, we're going to come up onto our hands this time, okay? So spreading those palms wide, we're going to bring our wrists directly underneath our shoulders. Shoulders are over those wrists. Then we're going to extend one leg and the other. Okay, nice flat back here. So pull the navel up to the spine. Really make that connection with each finger and the earth. So you're pressing down into each finger pad, lifting the front body away from the ground. Nice work, everybody. Now roll the shoulders down and away from the ears so you can broaden that collarbone. And we're going to lift one leg. Just lift the toes off to hover. Take a breath. Relax it down and lift the opposite. Lift and hold. Pull the navel in. Take a big breath in. Relax it down and hold here for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Knees down, child's pose. Keep the wrists active by pressing into the fingers, or just relax your palms and your elbows down. Good work, everybody. Let's get reset. Here we go, coming back into that plank from your forearms or right up onto your hands. Spread your palms as wide as you can. Press down into all 10 finger pads. Lengthen the legs behind you. Press those heels away. Pull the navel to the spine. Let's lift one foot to hover. Take a big breath in. Exhale and lower. Now lift the other foot to hover. Take a big breath in. Exhale and lower. Now from here, we're going to come into our first down dog. So if you're coming with me, bend the knees lots and lots and begin to lift the hips up. As you press into your hands, you're lifting your hips and pressing your chest toward your thighs. Lengthening the arms. Crown of the head begins to drop down towards the ground. And then see if you can lengthen the back of your legs so that your heels are now dropping towards the earth. One nice long line from your crown of your head out through your tailbone. Really press down into those hands. Hold here for 4. Keep breathing. For 3. For 2. And 1. Good job. Lower the knees. Send the hips back into child's pose. Take a breath. Okay, everybody, coming into that one more time. Here we go. I know it's a lot of work on the wrists, on the shoulders. So finding that plank either from your forearms or coming right up onto your hands, making that connection with every finger pad, pressing down into the ground. We're going to bend the knees and lift the hips. Press your chest towards your thighs. Take your gaze back towards your legs. Crown of the head lengthens down toward the earth. And then the heels. As your legs extend, maybe the heels relax down toward the ground. Press into those hands as you lengthen those arms. Inhale nice and deep in here. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Really press into those hands. One more. Big breath in. Exhale. From here, I want you to bend your knees. Take your gaze forward toward your hands and walk your feet up. Okay, keeping your knees as bent as much as you need to. Taking baby steps so your feet come up toward the hands. And finding our first forward fold. So you can keep the feet hip-width distance apart here and just relax the crown of the head down. Lifting the tailbone up, keeping your knees bent as much as is comfortable here. If you'd like, you can grab opposite elbows and find a little sway side to side, releasing the lower back and stretching into the backs of the legs here. Shake your head yes or no if that feels good for your neck. And take some big, beautiful breaths in here. Release your fingertips down to the ground. And if you'd like, you can heel toe your feet so that your big toes are together. Or you can keep your feet hip-width distance apart. And we're going to roll up nice and slow, pressing down into the feet lots and lots. As you lengthen the back of the legs, lift the torso up. Shoulders roll onto the back, and we find our mountain pose. So in our mountain pose, we're pressing down into all four corners of our feet. Good. Slight bend in those knees. Keeping the chin off the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. We'll relax the shoulders away from the ears. And just feel that contact with the ground here and your feet. If you feel like you're rocking forward and back, try and find a balance in the center of those four corners. And we'll take a big inhale, reach the arms up overhead. We'll bend the elbows back and cactus the arms open, allowing the elbows to relax down behind the back. Again, big inhale, lengthen the arms up, keeping the heart open, chest open, bend the elbows, relax the shoulders and the elbows down. Twice more, big inhale, maybe you take your gaze up toward the hands. Exhale, cactus the arms back. And one more, big inhale here. Exhale, pull the elbows back. Okay, this time we're going to inhale up, reach the hands up, palms come together, and we'll exhale and bend forward. As we come into a forward fold, once again, crown of the head reaches down toward the ground. You can keep your fingers on the ground or allow them to rise up along your shins as you inhale and come up into a halfway lift. The crown of the head is reaching out toward the horizon. Keeping your gaze down, nice flat back here. Exhale and fold forward. Nice work. From here, bring your fingertips down and step back. You can relax your knee down, coming into a half plank, or legs are long, coming into a full plank. Nice work, everybody. We're going to practice that downward dog once again. So press down into all 10 finger pads, pressing down into both palms. We're going to bend the knees, begin to lift the hips up towards the sky. Press the chest back towards the thighs. Crown of the head lengthens down as the arms lengthen. You can walk your feet in slightly and relax the heels down toward the ground as you lengthen the back of the legs. Nice work. Now from here, as you're pressing into your palms, bring your awareness to your shoulders. Are your shoulders coming up toward your ears? See if you can relax the shoulder blades down the back and create more space in the sides of your neck. If that lands with you, then take it. If that doesn't make any sense to you, then leave it alone. It's fine. Wherever you are, press into those hands. Take a big breath in here. Bend the knees. Take your gaze towards your hands and walk your feet up. Once again, finding that forward fold. We're going to inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and fold forward. And then press into your feet as you inhale, rise all the way up. Hands come down toward the heart. And we're moving again. Big inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale and fold. Stepping back into our plank or our half plank. Knees down or knees lifted. Shoulders are over those wrists. Pressing away from the ground, coming into that downward dog once more. We'll bend the knees, lift the back of the hips, press into the hands. Chest comes towards the thighs, crown of the head comes down. And then maybe you walk your toes in as you lengthen the back of the legs and allow the heels to relax down toward the ground. Okay, so let's check in with the shoulders once again. Are your shoulder blades lifting up towards the ears? Can you relax the shoulder blades down the back? So now maybe you feel a little bit more space in the sides of your neck. Press down into those hands. Take a big breath in here. Exhale. One more big inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, take the gaze towards your hands and walk your feet up. Coming in for that forward fold, we'll inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press into the feet, inhale. Rise all the way up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Nice work, everybody. Okay, we're going to do that sequence one more time right here. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Step back into that plank or half plank. Shoulders over wrists, spreading those palms wide, pressing down into all 10 fingers. Okay, you can keep the knees as bent as much as you'd like as you lift the hips up towards the sky, lengthening those arms, crown of the head relaxes down toward the ground. If you'd like, you can begin to relax the heels down towards the earth, lengthening the back of the legs as the gaze looks back towards your thighs. And one more time, let's see if we can tap into those shoulders. Are the shoulders coming up towards your ears? Can you allow the shoulder blades to go down the back to feel a little bit more space in the sides of your neck? Nice work. Take a big inhale here, everybody. Exhale fully. One more inhale. Bend the knees, take your gaze toward the hands and walk your feet up towards the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press into all corners of your feet as you reach up and take a big inhale. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Good work, everybody. Take a big breath in here. Exhale. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Let's step your left foot back. And we're going to walk the hands toward the center, pivoting the toes toward the long edge of the mat. We're coming in for a wide forward fold. So feet are nice and wide. Try and bring your arches in alignment here. All 10 toes are facing forward. And relax your hands down to the ground. Maybe begin to relax the crown of your head down towards the earth as the tailbone lengthens upward. You can keep the knees bent as much as you'd like, as much as is comfortable, or you can lengthen the backs of the legs. If you'd like a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can walk your hands toward the arches of your feet so that your hands are now in line with the arches. Using that connection with your hands in the ground to really lengthen the spine. Breathing in nice and deep here. Good job. Coming up onto your fingertips. We're just going to heel toe our feet together, okay? So you can lift the torso away from the ground and just bring your heels in and your toes, walking your feet in underneath the hips. And from here, we're going to come down to a seat. So if it's accessible, just begin to bend your knees down, allow your hips to come down. We're going to come down to a seat. Very gently finding our way down into a seated position. Let's lengthen the legs out in front of us. So we're going to come into a seated forward fold. I want this seated forward fold to be a little bit more active. So we're going to do that by pulling the toes towards the face, flexing those feet. Now see how much contact you can make with your sits bones and the ground. If you need to, maybe you shimmy, maybe you move your bum a little bit so you can really feel that anchoring down in your sits bones. We'll lift up along the spine, take a big breath in, and you can take your hands out to your sides, maybe giving yourself a little bit of support to lift yourself up here and come into a nice long spine. We'll take a big inhale. Maybe really feeling the backs of the legs here start to lengthen and anchor down toward the ground. If you'd like, you can begin to walk the hands towards the ankles, towards the shins, towards the toes. But try and resist the urge to let your shoulders round forward. Try and press your chest and your forehead towards your toes. And then see if you can fold your belly towards your thighs. Feeling that expansion in your lower back here. Thinking about having a nice long spine as you reach that forehead towards the toes. Still keeping those toes towards the face. Feet are flexed. That way we keep this pose active and really stretch into the back of the legs here. Big inhale. If you have a pillow, you can also place the pillow and give yourself a little bit of support here. See if you can fold forward just a little bit more, reaching those hands towards your ankles, your shins, your toes. Take a big inhale. Exhale. One more. See if you can feel the breath expand the lower back here. Big inhale. Exhale. Nice work. Lift the torso. Walk the hands back up. From here, we're going to come down onto our backs, but we're going to engage our core and give ourselves a little bit of a core workout as we do so. So keeping those legs long in front of you, you can keep those toes flexed towards the face. We're going to reach the arms out in front of us. Fingertips are reaching towards the toes. Now broaden the collarbone. So see if you can open up that chest and open up that space in front of your heart. Pulling the shoulder blades together behind you. We're going to begin to lower down inch by inch. So let's take an inch down. Hold, take a breath. Try and keep your feet on the ground. Take another inch down. Hold. Keep pulling the shoulder blades together behind you. Let's take another inch down. See if you can hold here. Really engaging that core. One more inch down. Can you take it down a little bit lower? Opening up in front of the heart. Big breath in here. Big inhale. And then let it go. Relax down onto your back. Good work, everybody. We're going to bend our knees here, place the soles of the feet on the ground. We'll take our arms out to a capital T and just allow the knees to relax down over to the right. Maybe taking your gaze over to the left, enjoying a little spinal twist here. We're approaching the final relaxation portion of our class. So beginning to bring some even deeper breaths into the body. We'll bring the gaze back to center, and using a little bit of that strength in our core, we'll lift those legs up towards the center and then allow them to relax down the opposite way towards the left, and maybe taking your gaze toward the right if it feels okay for your neck. Breathing into the lower back here and the spine. We did a lot of strengthening in our lower back and our mid back. So use your awareness here to send the breath there to give yourself a little bit of extra love in that area. Good work, everybody. One final move. We're just going to bring the knees over the hips here, taking the feet off the ground, coming in for Apanasana, our wind relieving pose. Place your hands on your legs, and on an inhale, you're just going to lengthen the legs out nice and easy. On an exhale, you're going to draw the knees in towards the chest. You choose how much you lift the legs away from the ground, or if you lower them a little bit. Just feel your lower back continue to make that connection with the earth. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring the knees toward the chest, cultivating that core strength once more. Getting all that energy moving around our core. Let's take one more big inhale to lengthen. On the exhale, let's hug the knees in really tight. Squeeze them in. Maybe lift your nose towards the knees. Come up into a little ball. Squeeze tight, tight, tight. And then exhale and let it all go. Finding our final Shavasana here. Using a pillow, a blanket, a towel. Anything to give you a little bit of space or a little bit of support in your lower back, in your neck, behind your knees. It's time to bring our energy back down and come back to where we started, coming full circle in our practice here. Just finding a very comfortable position on your back, allowing the fruits of our practice to saturate into our bodies and our minds. Using your awareness, again, you can begin with your toes, relaxing each toe with a breath. Relaxing your ankles and your shins, your calves and your knees. Relaxing your thighs and your hips. Letting go of any holding in your belly and just allowing your belly to go soft. Relax those arms down by your side. Maybe your fingers curl in as your wrists relax. Shoulders grow heavy into the ground as you relax the shoulders and the chest. Relax your jaw. You can even close down your eyes. Relax your forehead. See if you can even relax your skull. Using the breath in these final moments to release any more tension in the body. Now letting go of the breath and just allowing the body to breathe naturally here. If you notice any emotions or any thoughts coming up, just be the conscious parent. Notice them, allow them to be, and allow them to pass. You can remain here for as long as you'd like. You can finish your practice in Shavasana. If you'd like, you can come with me and bring some gentle movement back into your body, beginning from the toes and the fingers, wriggling your toes and your fingers, maybe bending and rotating your ankles and your wrists. If it feels right for you, just stretch your body out one more time. Growing nice and long and coming to rest on your right side for a breath as we allow the blood to pour away from the heart for one more moment here. You can keep your eyes closed as you press up into a seated position. Cross-legged or sitting back on your heels or whatever feels good for you now. We'll find one more moment together, one more moment for ourselves, for this community, and for our practice. Let's take a big inhale, reach the arms up overhead, gather up all the beautiful energy that you've created in your space. Bring the hands back to heart center. Open your eyes if you had them closed. And give yourselves a bow as I bow to you. And I say namaste. I'm so grateful to share this practice with you and to share this time with you. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for being here and for sharing this with me. I appreciate you to no end.